Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Martinsville for the fifth race in the 2019 season of the NRSL Mountain Dew For the Win Cup Series. We're on tap here for 175 laps of action, the longest race we've ever seen at this race track. On the pole for today's race is a bit of a surprise in the form of Mark Riggleman. So Mark will start on the pole. Next to him is a driver who has been hot as of late. He finished second last week. Almost had that W. Austin Alves with one win on the season back at Atlanta. Could be looking for win number 2 here today. In row 2, we have someone who's been strong at a few racetracks. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Next to him is rookie William Flickinger, highest starting rookie for the day. In row 3, we've got last year's winner here, Quinten Moore, and Charles Jackson, who's got a short track win under his belt back in 2017 at Iowa. Row 4 is Jessica Shelton and rookie Ace Rogers. And in row 5 is the other Red Bull car, Nate Rogers, with another BMW car in the form of DJ Curtis. We come into this race with Alves and Sorlin tied for the points lead. Third in points is Shelton, 47 points back. Flickinger, fourth, 56 back. Patrick Sick, the highest rookie, in fifth. Charles Jackson, sixth. Marty Johnson, seventh. Alex Gray, eighth. Jay Jefferson, ninth. Zachary Fitzwater Sr., 10th, with Johnny Gardner, 11th, and TJ Hanley rounding out the top 12. Those are your current 12 guys. Or actually, no, wait. Tringali has the win, and he's 19th in points, so Hanley is currently the first driver out due to a tiebreaker with Gardner. Anyways, let's go trackside for the command to fire engines.
Are you ready? Gentlemen, start your engines!
As the field will roll off here. Now, we only had one wreck in the truck race, and it was a spin about 10 laps in or something, but things are usually more chaotic for these Cup cars. We've seen some crazy stuff happen at the beginning of these races. Jonathan Zorlin starts 28th today. I mean, that is a definite season low. We look at the point standings. His average starting position has been a 6.5. Today that changes. Alves with a 4.5 average finish, and Zorlin with an average finish of 6th. We'll see whose average finish stays up as we are green, and they're already wrecking. In the back, that's William Brock being the pinball. Peter Sands is involved. Seth Cole's got damage. And it looks like Ferranti was involved too. And there's more spinning. Oskin, Shelley. Oh, and this could be bad. Is Oskin gonna get it straight before the leaders catch up here? It looks like he does. James Qualls is on pit road. Patrick Sick with some damage. Levi McIntyre, I think, was involved in that. Marty Johnson's coming down pit road. So's Tony Green. Someone else just spun out. Dylan Young's about to get dumped by Sebastian Kugelon. The mayhem has begun here at Martinsville. And the race lead is Mark Riggleman. Shelton's looking for third from Quinten Moore. As Tony Green's going to come out of pit road right in front of Rob Evans. Can we catch our breath? Somehow Sorlin avoided all of that, and he sits 23rd. James Qualls is going to come out of pit road right in front of Zach Flickinger. Charles Jackson's around. Shear's involved. Arndt's involved. And everybody is all over the place. My goodness. Someone else just got turned. That's Arndt and Johnny Gardner getting into it. My goodness. This is the race where the carnage never ends. Riggleman is your leader. They've kind of separated up the field now. Hopefully everything's going to calm down. Sorlin finds himself in 19th after avoiding all this mayhem. Are we done? I mean, is there anyone else that's going to come out of pit road and LePage, one of the leaders? Well, regardless, your top 10. DJ Curtis 10th, William Flickinger is 9th. Battle for 7th between Jose Mills and Caleb Hoffman. 6th is Quinten Moore. 5th, Fitzwater Sr. Alves is 4th. Nate Rogers is 3rd. Shelton 2nd, and Riggleman in the lead. Right now, our top 3 is a bunch of people who haven't won this season. In fact, Riggleman nor Shelton have won a race in their career. Nate Rogers won at Richmond back in 2017. Then there's this guy who's been Mr. Consistency all season, along with Jonathan Zorlin, but Zorlin finds himself just inside the top 20. Has anyone retired? James Shelley did retire. Qualls is 3 laps down. Brock 2 laps down. Johnson, Green, and Oskin are all 1 lap down. And now Riggleman's on the bumper of Ferranti, looking to put him a lap down. Oh, they are all over each other's bumpers right here. Why don't you pass him? Finally moved to the inside of Ferranti. Nate Rogers gets stuck behind him. That lets Alves move up to 3rd. William Brock is next. He'll go another lap down. There's McIntyre, there's Qualls, Hanley, Parker, Sick, Gardner. This is the back half of the field where all the damaged cars sit. Zach Flickinger losing 25th to Sebastian Kukulon. There's Dylan Young. And Zorlin sits in 19th place. Zorlin not really known for doing good at short tracks. He has not won at a short track in his career. See, Jackson runs 15th with left side damage. Ace Rogers in 11th is trying to get by the slow car of Sam and Oskin. These lap cars are probably going to be a bit of a hassle today. Tony Green's actually passing a lead lap car there. That's ridiculous. Quinten Moore up to 5th. Shelton has fallen now down to 4th. So Al sits in 2nd with Riggleman still in the lead. They'll catch Brock. Jose Mills finds himself in 3rd. Quinten Moore 4th. So Quinten Moore looking to go back-to-back at Martinsville, apparently. We're only 15 laps in this race. I cannot catch my breath. Once we get past all these lap cars, it should get a little more relaxed. Oh man, bumper to bumper. They're just riding each other so close. Quinten Moore is going to slide under Mills. That's for 3rd. And he can't stick it. Oh, now he dive bombed the heck out of Jose Mills. That should move Moore up to 3rd, and now they're going to stick Brock all the way to the top. That's going to let Alves get by here on the straightaway. Quinten Moore will make the move to get by on the straightaway. Moore's got teammate Fitzwater right behind him, who's passing Jose Mills for 4th place. Tony Green, a lap down car, but with a clean car nonetheless. Sitting in 36, trying to maybe get that lap back. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's no caution flags for Martinsville. But right now, we've got about a split from the top 10 to 11th of about a second. But all these lap cars are making that kind of close up. Now, Alves is going to lose positions. Oh, man, he's getting really loose as he's trying to cut down in front of Green. Luckily for him, Nate Rogers makes a move on the 40 car. He's like, you're a lapper. You don't need to be up here racing me. I'm in 5th place, man. He's going to dive bomb Tony Green there just to try and get back by him. Caleb Hoffman, we're talking here, 2017 champion without a win. He's up here doing good. Ooh, Jose Mills got out of whack back there. He falls now to 10th place. Now starting to lose more positions as Quinten Moore gets up to 2nd. Riggleman all over the bumper of Qualls. McIntyre's next up, and then there's a decent gap. Now Fitzwater's passing teammate Quinten Moore. I do not know why Riggleman is having problems getting by these lappers, but he's going to get bounced for the lead here by Fitzwater. So Riggleman will lead the first 20 laps. Does he maybe make a move to the outside of Qualls here? What is going on? And Fitzwater will bounce Qualls to the top side, and that's going to bounce Riggleman out of the lead. So Fitzwater, Nate Rogers are the first two by. Fitzwater looking for what would be his first win of the season. Nate Rogers looking for that first win of the season as well. Last year was pretty abysmal. So far this year has been pretty abysmal as well as he makes the move on the lead. Sorry about that. Nate sits 42nd in points. A good 24 points behind Moore, who sits 40th in points. Him and Ferranti have been having terrible luck, and Ferranti's terrible luck continued today. So if Nate can just stay in the lead and stay out of trouble, he could come away with a very good point stay and bump himself up into the top 30, maybe not quite the top 30, but definitely pretty close to it. So Nate Rogers takes the lead. It's clean sailing from here. Tony Green, that one lap car with slightly fresher tires, sits up here. Fitzwater second, Alves third, William Flickinger up the fourth, Hoffman up the fifth. Shelton sixth, Moore down the seventh. Ace Rogers has made it into the top 10. Nico Tringali flying up here. He sits in 10th place, but he's going for 9th on Riggleman, who's now losing all his track position. Jackson doing a pretty good job here with this left side damage. So we see a lot of lap cars getting in the way here today. Andrew Miller's taking what appears to be 18th place from Sorlin, maybe 19th, I don't know. And you can see Miller having a tough time there. That was for 18th, so Sorlin's going to go back to the inside of Miller, hoping the 31 will block him. Oh man, that's some crazy stuff right here. See, they got lap car Brock has a preferred line in the corner. And Sorlin's just pushing the living heck out of him down the straightaway. Sebastian Kugelon has made it into the top 20, so Kugelon is on the move. This is one clean car we've seen that's just flying up through the field. As he and Sorlin will get by Brock here pretty easily, hopefully. And others will begin to pass. You can see Seth Cole got a bumper full of Dylan Young. A lot of beating and banging going on here today. Here's the end of the pack with TJ Hanley. Oskin, Ferranti already got cleared by the pack, so Nate Rogers sits in a comfortable lead right now. Fitzwater second, Alves, William Flickinger, Hoffman, Shelton, Nico Tringali up to 7th. He's making some gains. The Red Bull cars seem to be strong here today. Last time we saw these two that were strong together was, I think, last week at Auto Club, but most rememberably was Texas last year in the spring. It looked like Nate had a car to win. He ended up having to pit, and Nico Tringali had pit road problems, and it looked like he probably would have had the winning strategy. But he sits here in 7th place. Jackson 8th with a damaged left side. Ace Rogers in 9th as Cole Deaver looks for 10th on Quinten Moore. And there's a good split from Gray in 17th back to Sorlin, who sits in 18th. Kev Shearer sits in 15th place right now as Riggleman continuing to lose positions. Shelton takes back 5th from Hoffman. William Flickinger looking for 3rd on Alves as Nate Rogers begins to gap the field. But now he's caught Ferranti, one of the more damaged race cars. Green's right here in 35th now, so Green's going to just kind of pick up spots as they lap people, because he does seem to have a clean race car. So William up to 3rd. Looks like Alves might lose 4th to Shelton. If these drivers pit the same frequency as the trucks did, we might see them pit at lap 50. You might not see them pit until lap 60. It all depends if they want to do a 2-stop or 3-stop strategy. It is crazy here. Coming at a pit road behind a slow car like Ferranti would not be strategic at all. Not seeing a lot of tire wear from Nate Rogers' 83 car though. So now he'll approach Oskin. Nobody else has retired. We've calmed down, thankfully. I feel like if Green could get by Nate, he might pull away. Nate's going to peek in here on the 22 as the 40 pushes the heck out of him. Fitzwater has pulled away in second. It looks like someone might have spun. It might have been Qualls, I'm not really sure. Trying to see, they're all doubled up back here. Oh, might have been Ferranti. He's coming down pit road. Sanford's got right side damage. Trying to see if anyone fell back. Curtis has fallen to 14th. Alice has fallen a lot too, as has Tringali. That might have had something to do with it. So Hoffman 5th, William Flickinger 4th, Shelton 3rd, Fitzwater 2nd, and Nate Rogers in the lead. Next car up is James Qualls yet again. So what a great season so far though for Shelton. She sits 3rd in points in her sophomore season. The sophomore slump is non-existent so far for this 02 car. She's going to pass Oskin to the top, who's actually going to come down pit road. So a strategic move by the 22 car. Jackson passes Cole Deaver for 8th place. As Kev Shear finds himself into the top 10. Alice has fallen outside of the top 10, so it looked like Alice had a really strong car, but got pushed to the top. As Quinten Moore is looking for 6th place on Ace Rogers. There are some cars down pit road. It looks like maybe that was Levi McIntyre. So maybe some people getting banged around electing to come down pit road a little earlier. As you see, Oskin is one of those cars. And it is indeed McIntyre. So he comes right in front of Johnny Gardner. Maybe a little strategy going on, not really sure. But McIntyre will be a bullet, as there's some borderline 3 wide there between Sick and Mendez. Seth Cole doing pretty good with this hood damage. He still sits 22nd. Kukulon and Sorlin battle for 18th place as they're just behind the main pack. They've been slowly catching back up, shrinking the gap. Kukulon will fly by for 18th. He has been a cannon today. Downey with the fastest lap. Kukulon sits 4th on this board. So if Kukulon can stay out of problems, we might see this 9 car up there near the front. Kukulon had a great run 2 weeks ago at Rockingham. And it looks like Rob Evans is coming down pit road, so maybe some early strategy here. Evans pits on lap 45. This might be a strange strategy race. TJ Hanley's coming out of the pits. Nate Rogers has gotten by all the slow cars very fast. That leaves Fitzwater in a bit of trouble. Oh, and Hoffman just got turned by TJ Hanley. And now he's coming down pit road from 5th place. Some of these cars are pitting with fresh tires and they're dumping the lead lap cars. Zach Flickinger, Nico Tringali, they're on pit road. So the strategy here is not what I expected. William Flickinger looking for 3rd, but he's got a bumper full of TJ Hanley on fresh tires. Shelton and others will head down pit road. Quinten Moore will enter second place. It looks like the 83 stayed out. So a little more earlier strategy here in the Cup race. Nate Rogers still on the racetrack. Quinten Moore staying out for now. See who fixed their damages and who doesn't. Nate Rogers will finally come down now. Quinten Moore. Curtis. That should be the cycle. Fitzwater should be the leader of the group, as far as I can tell. Let's go to the pit lane 1 camera. No pit road problems for Nate Rogers. Charles Jackson is slow entering turn 1. He's about getting turned there. He's going to head down pit road. Dylan Young is a lap down. Fitzwater sits in second as Nate Rogers retains the race lead. Nobody else retired. Cars that fixed damage have fallen a lap down from the looks of things. As Green and Brock head down pit road for the first time. We know they were on a little different strategy than everyone else. See, Flickinger has fallen to 27th, fixing his damage. Seth Cole all the way back here. GJ Hanley's in 20th now. Holy crap. Ferranti appears to be maybe a little bit back up to speed now that they've fixed their problems. Kugelon sits in 15th. Zorlin up to 14th. Alves in 12th. Oh, and James Qualls just got put in the wall. Not sure who did that move. Alex Gray's into the top 10. Rob Evans, Tringali, and Shearer are near the top 5. Shelton and Cole Deaver. Meanwhile, Fitzwater and Nate Rogers are in a different zip code. As it looks like Jackson's gotten his damage repaired now. Still a little slow on the straightaways. Dylan Young's got some back end damage. Right side damage to go with it. So Shearer looking for a top 5 finish now. So the dumping and banging seems to never stop. How about Zorlin and Alves right here? Co-points leaders coming into today. Well, that'll change. Depending who finishes ahead of the other, but right now it looks like neither's going to get a top 10. Kugelon was on the charge at the last run, but he's just sitting there in 15th now behind Zorlin. This race is still very unpredictable. We could have a huge wreck that takes out the leader. We've seen a lot of people getting turned into that inside wall on the backstretch. They've been thankful enough to save it. If that doesn't happen, though, things could get crazy. As Alves will pass Jose Mills for 12th place, but Mills dives him right back under. Gatlin Downey is going to take 15th away from Sebastian Kugelon. Little quiet back here, and then oh my gosh. Nate Rogers all over the bumper of Flickinger, who's on the bumper of Qualls. Qualls is that really slow car that needs to retire. Oh boy, is he gonna turn him? Borderline 3 wide. Nate Rogers just got put in the wall by Ryan Brommer. And that gives our race leader, oh, maybe a little bit of damage, maybe not, but he's gonna go to the outside of Qualls and get out of that mess. It looked like he might have lost the lead. Things are getting crazy every time we're behind James Qualls. Now William Flickinger gets turned. Fitzwater's involved and he's around. Nico Tringali gets a huge piece. Gray's in it. Ace Rogers just got clobbered by Austin Alves. Sorlin's on the grass. Just like that, everything changes. Gardner's going to get turned by Ace Rogers. Patrick Sick clobbers into him. Jefferson's going to take a huge lick into the 7. Gardner's going to go way high. Nate Rogers doesn't know where to go. 3 smoking cars in the form of Downey, Sick, and Jefferson head down pit road. Gardner's coming down pit road. Phil Parker's car's destroyed. DJ Curtis is down pit road, destroyed. Ace Rogers, Nico Tringali's good day gone bad. Austin Alves definitely losing that points lead now. Qualls is on pit road again. Kugelon's now up to 11th because of that. Sorlin sits in the top 10 now. Mills 9th, Gray 8th. Fitzwater down to 7th with heavy back end damage. 6th is Quinten Moore. Shearer sits in 5th, battling Rob Evans for 4th. Shelton still sits in 3rd, but she's got back end damage. Cole Devers in 2nd. Al's back on track with no hood, but he's in 26th. DJ Curtis has retired. Nico Tringali, Gatlin Downey, Jay Jefferson, they're all out of the race. I told you it's gonna take some crazy stuff here. It's gonna amp everything up. There are only 18 cars on the lead lap. Oh, Ryan Brommer might have a problem. I don't know what's going on here. Sorlin sits in 10th. Now, neither he nor Alves have a top 10 in every race, but they are trying to keep up the most top 5 streak, I guess. Pretty much every finish Sorlin's had has been in the top 5. Shearer, though, in 3rd. Nate Rogers continues to survive for now, but he's right behind Alex Ferranti. Noticeably not as slow as before. Qualls is back on track 7 laps down. So we might have more problems. And Nate Rogers is trying to squeeze by Ferranti. And there's the 27. I mean, he's running his line, and these guys just won't pass him. They'd just rather dump him out of the way, I guess. Edwin Mendez has a pretty clean car. He sits in 14th. Seth Cole surviving in 15th. Same for Hanley, Miller, and Arndt. They're the last cars on the lead lap right now. So 37 cars on the track. Austin Alves sits 1 lap down, or 2 laps down? 2 laps down to 26th. He's going to put teammate Kev Shearer to the top side. Shearer's got the horsepower on him, though. Oh, but Alves puts him to the top in 4, and turn 4 is awful for outside lane cars. So Deaver, Shearer, Shelton, and Moore are the 4 sitting ready to strike if something happens to the 83, who's catching TJ Hanley. Among others, James Qualls is up here. Oh man, Oskin's right here too. We could see a new leader. We're not even halfway through this race. It's only lap 78 of 175. This has been an insane race so far. Nate will get by Hanley. Can he get by Miller? Miller's trying to get by Oskin too. Should at least shoved Oskin to the back. That'll get one slow car out of the way. Arndt's all over Qualls. He's going to push him to the top side. Nate's doing the same thing with Miller. Austin Alves 2 laps down on those fresher tires, trying to make some gains. We're closing in on the second round of green flag pit stops, coming in at about lap 90. Well, Nate will get by Qualls, no problem this time. John Arndt just in front of the leader, 16th on the lead lap. That could be going away, as now we'll watch how much the 27 gets in the way of this pack. Kev Shearer has moved up to second. Shearer had some good runs last season, still looking for that first career win. Andrew Miller just about got turned by Austin Alves, who's on fresher tires. Might be 2 laps down, but he's got the grip in the corner. Looking at the rest of the top 10, Evans in 6th, Fitzwater 7th, Gray 8th, Mills 9th, and Zorland still 10th. Here's Qualls and Oskin are mostly going to stay out of the way here. Tony Green's just been riding. He's 19th. He's got some hood damage. It looks like someone got spun up here. Wasn't anyone from the lead pack. Riggleman fell from the lead. He sits in 12th still. Looks like it might have been Fitzwater who got spun. He's down to 11th now. Tough break for Fitzwater. He's doing pretty good with that damage to the crap race car. Not sure how much time they'll spend fixing that on the next pit stop. Kukulon's up to 10th. Zorland now up to 9th. Jose Mills, a rookie with a good day so far, 8th place. Pretty much a lot of these cars have damage though. Rob Evans sitting in 6th, another rookie having a good day. His car is pretty much clean. No damage seen on this 88. JJ Hanley has gone down pit road. A lot of lap cars racing here. Tony Green's actually passing people for position. So what was thought to have been Green's really bad day is turning into a bit of a positive now. Deaver got back by Shearer. It kind of rhymes, so. Deaver sits in 2nd place yet again. Alves sits in 25th, 2 laps down. All over the bumper of Nate Rogers, the race leader, who's about 4/10 slower due to tire wear. Ryan Brommer's on pit road as they're catching William Brock for what will be the 5th time. So Al's all over the bumper. I'm sure he's not going to wreck the leader here or anything. Hopefully not. I mean, it is a bit of a BMW Audi rivalry. Someone else is on pit road. It's Mark Riggleman. So Riggleman trying to get a bit of a tire advantage here as the second round of pit stops have begun. See people gapping out here, maybe due to the 99. But Deaver's right there on the bumper of Nate Rogers. We'll see people are really starting to come down pit road now. Things are going to start getting dangerous again. We're on lap 93. Deaver will stay on the track behind. Kev Shearer will come down here on lap 93. About lap 94. Looks like Deaver's coming down this time, so Nate stays out another lap. Caleb Hoffman just pit from in front of him. Is anyone else staying out with the 83 car? Looks like Quinten Moore is. Alex Gray, Sebastian Kugelon, Fitzwater, and Edwin Mendez. Rest of the field's one lap down. Nate continuing to stay out. Flickinger, though, is going to try and make a pass here. Owen Shelton's coming back on the racetrack there, 3 wide, and that was borderline going to be a wreck that put Nate in the wall. He's just going to concede this position. This is what happens when you stay on really old tires. All the lap cars are in front of you. 75 to go at lap 100. Everyone should be good after one more pit stop, and here comes Nate Rogers now. Quinten Moore is going to stay out. So Quinten will get to lead here. This might be his chance to take the lead. But he's getting pushed around. All these cars have fresh tires. There's Fitzwater. He came down the lap before. Oh, and Riggleman's going to turn William Brock. And that was nearly disaster. Riggleman backs out of that mess. See Charles Jackson on pit road. William Brock on pit road. So Moore has yet to pit. Oh, and there's death. Flickinger's around. Alves is involved. And Moore's coming down pit road now. Austin Alves' car is destroyed. I'm not sure what happened to him. Nate Rogers, though, is out here on the track again. But he is not the race leader. It seems it might be the 6 of Kev Shearer. Oh, Ryan Brommer got in the Gardner there, borderline. Nate Rogers on the quarter panel of Brommer in the 21. They're going into turn 3, 3 wide. That's not smart. They settled it. But your new race leader should be the 6th of Kev Shearer. Not seeing anyone else retired yet. Not sure what's going on with the 16 if he's going to retire. His car was pretty much killed. So they're 3 wide behind. Oh man, he just got on pit road. He can't even go 11 miles an hour as Gardner's going to get spun in front of Cole Deaver. He'll get it back going with little incident. It's going to hurt the 3's run, but Kev Shearer is your new race leader. Oh, that kept Deaver still sits in 3rd. He just lost a ton of track time position. As you can see, Alves is trying to get to his pit stall. The car is so destroyed. I really would like to know. He must have got turned into the wall really hard or something there with William Flickinger. No one else has retired. Oh no, William Brock has. I'm not sure if that is to do with the 16, but man, his car got destroyed. He is going to somehow drive it back to his pit stall and retire. As someone else is on pit road. Johnny Gardner's taking his pit stop here. So Nate Rogers led about half the race, and now Kev Shearer looking for that first career victory. Look at the point standings. He's been doing pretty decent for BMW. So he sits 13th in the points with one top 10. So we'll see if Kev can get it done and get BMW their second win in 5 races. Getting a little cold in here. But the chaos is not over. I mean, still a couple cars out here with a lot of damage that are holding people up. Look at that. Ace Rogers running in 14th with no hood and no back end. I mean, that's just freaking incredible. I don't know if he is on a different cycle or something, because it looks like his times are a lot slower than the rest of the top pack. See Seth Cole's up in 12th, but he's on old tires from the looks of things. Fitzwater has fallen down to 22nd place now. Quinten Moore's right outside the top 10. Briggleman entering the top 10. Alex Gray 9th. 8th appears to be Shelton. Kugelon's up to 7th. As someone else spun out. Oh, and it was Ace Rogers, and there's death. Peter Sands, Andrew Miller, Jose Mills is stuck. Kugelon piles in. Green is stuck. Now Quinten Moore's stopped. William Flickinger is stopped. And Shearer, the race leader, is coming down pit road with hood damage. Oh my gosh, something big got missed. Romer's coming down. TJ Hanley's destroyed. John Arndt's destroyed. Sands, Ferranti. Oh, and Seth Cole's around us. Stevers coming down pit road. Qualls piles in. Mendes piles in. Nate Rogers back to the lead. But Qualls is smoking and he's in the way. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think we're going to have to do replays for some of these incidents. Kugelon still sits in 4th after that incident. And Jonathan Sorlin has continued to survive everything. He's up to 3rd. Evans in 2nd, and Nate Rogers back to the lead. Shelton 5th, Gray 6th, Riggleman 7th, Charles Sanford's in 8th, Caleb Hoffman 9th, and Seth Cole's in 10th. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's a ton of people who have retired now. James Qualls, Charles Jackson, Peter Sands, Ryan Barmer, TJ Hanley, Ace Rogers, and John Arndt all done. Sorlin up to 2nd place. So we're getting down to less and less cars. Some really big incidents have started to take place. Ferranti and William Flickinger appear to be on pit road. The other Flickinger is right here in 11th, 1 lap down. In fact, we've got Seth Cole 1 lap down. He is on really worn tires, so I think we'll see him get past. Nate Rogers actually has some decent front end and back end damage. So if they elect to fix this on their last pit stop, he will probably lose the lead. And Sorlin's car is clean. Kugelon's up to 3rd. He's got a head of steam. And now Seth Cole's just in the way. Oh, this could be another wreck. Flickinger is gonna turn Seth Cole into the wall, and Flickinger's around. Miller gets into it. Evans is involved. Alex Gray, Shelton, Sick, Fitzwater. Where do these cars go? Shearer's stopping on the track. Everyone's stopping on the track. Oh, they're 4 wide. Oskin and someone else just spun. It was Caleb Hoffman. Zach Flickinger's race is over. He's smoking. Nate Rogers is still the leader. Andrew Miller is smoking. Seth Cole's going to go down pit road. My gosh. It never ends. The madness continues. There's Shelton in 4th. Kugel on 3rd. Sorlin 2nd. And there's Nate Rogers in the lead behind this mess. I mean, the mess of cars is right here. More and more people retired. Rob Evans has retired out of a top 5. He had survived so long and he just couldn't hang on. Alex Gray's done. That's going to leave us with 26 cars as far as we know. Nate Rogers is just in the hornet's nest right now. Looks like Seth Cole will continue. Flickinger and some others. Andrew Miller, I think they're still fixing damage. Sorlin's the next closest driver. There's only 5 cars on the lead lap. And Riggleman in 5th is right here in front of Dylan Young. Zach Flickinger has called it quits. Their car is done. If Nate Rogers can get through this pack, he should be home free for a couple of laps. Just kind of watching who's out and who's in. Andrew Miller has retired. He's given up. And oh, Edwin Mendez has spun out. William Flickinger involved. Sorlin makes it through. Oskin will slow down. So will Sebastian Kukulon. Nate Rogers stuck on the top side. There's Cole Deaver down to 17th place. He is 4 laps down. What a madhouse this has been. This is like the oval version of Puco. The literal survival race. I guess I'm kind of glad we didn't put Puco on the schedule because I think 1 demolition race is enough for a 25 race season. Phil Parker's down pit road. We are going to be at 50 to go next time by, so the madness is going to end soon. The big question is going to be is if Nate Rogers fixes this damage on pit stops. That would give the lead to Sorlin, who has basically done what the purpose of this race is apparently, which is survive. But 46 minutes of madness. I know it says 51, but the command got given at 5 minutes. 45 minutes, 46 minutes of madness is closing into an end. And then we're going to have to look at a crap load of replays. So Nate puts 5th place, or 6th place Mark Riggleman down a lap. Wow, Charles Sanford's up here, 5th place. But it looks like the craziness has died down a little bit due to some more spins. Shelton's up to 3rd. Where did the 9 car go? 9 car's on pit road. Okay, so maybe a little strategy by Kukulon here. Quinten Moore, 14th. 3 laps down. Jose Mills is 13th, the only car 2 laps down. So we're going to close in. We're in range for those last pit stops. And now Nate Rogers looks to pass Sanford. That'll put Sanford a lap down and leave 3 cars on the lead lap. So if Kukulon can play his dice right, he could gain a ton of time. I mean, we'll see how much it matters. I think the only clean car left is the 5 of Sorlin. We haven't done this all day. Let's go on board a lap with the 5. Dylan Young's heading down pit road. That's a lap around Martinsville in the Cup cars. Sorlin kind of just letting himself get held up by Coldever here. Maybe he's hoping he can miss something. There's Nate Rogers. There's Kukulon. 2 laps down in 13th place. 12th place. That's because of 2-car pit. Now there's so many different strategies because people get in wrecks. We'll see who is. I think this end strategy is going to be a little crazy. Looks like Hoffman got by first. Hoffman's in 6th place. Marty Johnson 7th. Shear 8th. Tony Green's up to 9th. Wow, and Fitzwater's in 10th place still. Sanford's going down pit road first. He is a lap down. That's the first top 5 car we'll see pit. I mean, it really matters how much time Sorlin can keep up because I really think this car was probably going to be repaired a little bit on its pit stop. We're down to 23 cars. I mean, you can't really wreck that much more. Our usual average for Puco is about 25 cars. So Nate Rogers racing Quinten Moore, who was looking at a good chance at a win earlier, but not anymore. Hoffman went down pit road. Running out of voice. 40 to go that time by. I'm also getting kind of hungry. Nate Rogers holding on over Quinten Moore right now, but Moore's peaking again off of turn 4. Moore's trying to pass Nate to get back to 2 laps down. Kukulon has entered back into the top 10. Marty Johnson's down pit road. Jonathan Zorlin's down pit road. Regelman's on pit road. More laps, Nate stays out. The more time he loses, we're in the last stint. There's not going to be a lot of laps to gain time back. Being behind a slow car can be dangerous. Look at this, Fitzwater's up to 6th place. There's Shear without a hood in 4th. And like, how long can he go? I mean, Sorlin's in front of him nonetheless. Shelton's on pit road. Oh, and there was a wreck. Patrick Sick got spun out. Oh, and Nate Rogers is around! And that just about seals the deal there. And he looks like he's got heavy damage. Oh, and he's locking it up. They're gonna call the tow truck on this thing. Race over for Nate Rogers. That win is not gonna happen today. And that all but gives the win to Jonathan Sorlin, who's already got 2 wins on the season. Unbelievable. He got spun out somehow. But Sorlin will come around here and he'll be the leader. Shearer sits in 2nd, but he hasn't pit yet. Shelton's another lap down. They fixed all her damage. Jose Mills is 4th as Deaver's gonna get spun here. Looked like that might have been Seth Cole's doing. Oh, Shear just about slammed into the 3 there. People still getting spun out, so we'll see if Sorlin can survive for another 32 laps. Nate Rogers is getting his service. So Nate Rogers' good day goes down the tubes. See what happens to Zorlin here through the end of this race. Riggleman looks like he's going to get a top 5. Sanford's up to 5th now, passing Shelton. Zorlin looking to lap Jose Mills. Can't quite get there. There's Nate Rogers out of his pit stall. The 83, damage repaired, sits 4 or 5 laps down. 17th place. We'll see if he hits the line here. Kev Shearer's on pit road for his last pit stop. 17th it is, 4 laps down for Nate Rogers, who's gonna about get spun by Jessica Shelton. Looks like he's got a really damaged car now. So you can see Sanford driving away from the 02. So Jose Mills comes down pit road. So Mills is in for his last stop. William Flickinger's in. That leaves Zorlin by himself. Can he survive the lap traffic to win? He's got an 18-second lead over Riggleman. Here's second place. Old Evers down. Came down to survival, man. I mean, Jonathan Zorlin started in 28th place. He started where you would think you didn't want him to start. He could be en route to his first short track victory and his 3rd of the season in just 5 races. This is some Andrew Rich level stuff. We get to 2020. If Zorlin stays in the game, Andrew Rich's return against Jonathan Zorlin, it could be huge. It'll be 25 to go at the start-finish line. Well, they're about wrecking in front of him now. That's Johnny Gardner moving around. Riggleman's trying to stay in front of that mess. So Hoffman is 10th. Phil Parker is 9th. Tony Green 8th. Dylan Young 7th. Marty Johnson and Kugelon are racing for 5th. 4th place Charles Sanford, 3rd place Jessica Shelton, and that is the running order. So if Zorlin wrecks heavily, if he doesn't wreck that bad, he should be able to stay on the track and keep his lead. But if he gets clobbered, that's going to open the door for Riggleman, who started this race on the pole. Oh, and Zorlin just about turns McIntyre. Puts himself on the top side there. And he'll get by the 99. McIntyre sits 20th now, 6 laps down. William Flickinger's out here 11 laps down. Riggleman gained about a second on Zorlin right there from that. Here's the 26, running behind Mendez. We'll keep it clean for now. Zorlin gets by Patrick Sick, who's in 13th place. Now 2 laps down. Gardner will look to fall 7 down in 21st. What a season it's been for Zorlin so far. I mean, this is all survival skill here today. But we head to Denver next week, which is, he's basically, him and Gardner are the 2 Speedway kings. And then we head to some road courses. Zorlin's won at a road course before. Hopefully he doesn't dominate them all. But The lead grows now. Riggleman having tough times with Edwin Mendez. Oh, and this is the hornet's nest you don't want to be. Riggleman's getting the power down on the straightaways, but he can't do anything. Fitzwater's going to get to the inside of Mendez first. And now Riggleman will follow by to get past the 4 car. Sorlin to the inside of Gardner. Shelton and Sanford are closing in a little bit, maybe trying to get a lap back. You know, if they could miss a possible disaster between the 5 and someone else, they'd get back on the lead lap and maybe have a chance. Tony Green's in 5th place. How about that? Tony Green started this race lap 1, lap 2 on pit road. Now he sits in 5th. 15 laps to go here at Martinsville. Mendez caused a lot of problems for Riggleman. We'll see if he causes a lot of problems for Sorlin. Looks like Sorlin will get to his inside easily here entering turn 3. So the craziness has calmed down. Riggleman now having more problems as Fitzwater looks to pass Phil Parker for 11th place. Looks like Fitzwater's got some pretty fresh tires on his car here. Kukulon and Phil are on a completely different strategy. And this should send Fitzwater back into the top 10. And it will put Zachary Fitzwater Sr. back up to 10th. You know, 10th to 11th is somewhat valuable. It's another 2 points. Same from 6th to 5th. It's another 2 points. 10 to go next time by at the start finish line as Sorlin catches up to Parker and Kukulon. Fitzwater's next driver in line would be Hoffman, but I'm not sure if he's going to get there. Oh, and someone got spun out, and it looks like it was the 20th sick. Guessing it might have been Charles Sanford who did that, judging by the lap time of a 22-second lap. So Sorlin closes up on some more lap traffic. Fastest lap on the race. Oh wow, Sorlin actually got up there to 5th, so not that he's undeserving or anything, but he has survived this treacherous race. Riggleman up ahead. Oh, Seth Cole, kind of a bit of a roadblock now with all the damage he's got. And Sorlin all over the bumper of Phil Parker now. What a race. What a catastrophe and a half. But it looks like Jonathan Sorlin will get his 3rd career win, or not career, 3rd win on the season in just the first 5 races, and now that should strike some fear into the opponents. You know, we had Andrew Rich win 8 races last year. That was in 37 events. If Sorlin keeps up his pace, he'd get 15 on the season. Now, I don't think that's going to happen because of the road courses, but that would be pretty shocking. He's going to duck to the inside of Parker. Shelton might be trying to get back on the lead lap here at the end of this thing. Kukulon's holding up Seth Cole. Riggleman's cut the lead down to just under 17 seconds again. Sorlin will get to the inside of the 42 car. 3 laps to go here at Martinsville. Will Shelton make a move for that lead lap position? And we will have a ton of replays to show you guys. As far as the few wrecks we didn't see, including the big one that took out about a dozen cars, and then whatever spun Nate Rogers out, along with Austin Alves' heavy impact. So those are the 3 wrecks I'm going to show you. Those are the ones I'm most curious about. And the rest will have to wait for the crash comp. But Sorlin will take the white flag here at Martinsville. Going into turn 3, he'll head to the inside of Levi McIntyre. And with that, in just 5 races, Jonathan Sorlin gets his 3rd win today at Martinsville. Oh my gosh. What a race. Riggleman 2nd. Shelton 3rd, Green 4th, Sanford 5th, Shearer, Johnson, Hoffman, Fitzwater, and Dylan Young. That's the top 10. Well, with that, let's get to some race replays. So this is very interesting. Up ahead, Sorlin's going to spin William Flickinger into Jessica Shelton, but right here, right off of turn 2, Alves just lost the motor. So their damage just caught up to them. Something broke. Something was some semi-broken, and that just did it for Austin Alves. So that is replay 1. Now we're going to try and find what the big wreck was. Or did we already see the big wreck? I'm so confused. Alright, so here it was on lap whatever it was. Jackson just doesn't go to the wall. I think he was maybe 3 wide with Qualls. And he's going to get into it with Mendez. That sends Jackson into the inside wall. And then Mendez gets shoved right back across the racetrack. He's locked them up at this point. And it's going to be on from here as Ace Rogers turns left into Charles Jackson. Hanley with nowhere to go. And helicopter angle for the win. As Ferrante's going to miss, is going to hit Ace Rogers. Then there's Miller, and then the stack up's on. You see Nate Rogers is just clobbered in right here. Shearer's in it. Sanford's in it. Hoffman's in it. Deaver's going to hit the 19 right there. And then these guys go up on the grass or something here, and things go from good to worse. Right here, Jose Mills was the first one. Right there, he's locked him up and he's stuck. And there's Kukulon's going to get a piece. Green's just sitting here. Green actually ended up getting a top 5 even after this, so that's insane. I do not know what these guys were doing. Quinten Moore right up on the grass. But that was the huge one. And then I want to see what happened to Nate Rogers. Okay, I think what this might have been is it looked like the 83 was going to clear Quinten Moore here. And he hits the brakes and turns left like he's going to pit. So Nate was about to come down pit road, and Quinten was still in his lane. Nate just hit the brakes, cut down in the middle of the track. You can't do that. That takes out Nate in the 83, and then Phil Parker comes in and pile drives the 89. That was the beginning of it. Let's play this at full speed. See Dylan Young in the grass. Gardner. He's coming back up to speed here. And he goes to turn down, and Cole Deaver spins him around, and then that was the extent. And with that, I will see you guys at Denver.